What's going on, fam? This your boy Tony Black, voice of the block. And right now, you tuned in to Ghetto Gossip, man. And today, we're going to be talking about how that boy Charleston White just crashed out on Lil Woody. Talking about his kid. He took it too far. Charleston White always take it too far. And that's something that Charleston White need to stop doing. But we understand that that's how he got his name. But he can do that in a different way. You get what I'm saying? He ain't got to talk about people who can't respond back. He can keep going at these game bangers, the active ones, you know. He can go at other people, but instead he want to go after a little kid. He been lost lack of respect, and y'all still tune in and watch Charleston White. That's what I don't understand about y'all. See, if y'all sitting around here still watching Charleston White, I believe that y'all really low key just like Charleston White or wanna be like Charleston White. You get what I'm saying? So, with that being said, all of them are hypocrites. So I know you don't want to be a hypocrite, but listen, a hypocrite is this. Let me tell you what they doing. They trying to trick each other off the street. Because from my understanding, you already know Charleston White was being funny when him and Lil Woody was out in the parking lot chilling, and he said, "We're gonna see if he can be funny, or we're gonna see if he's very funny." Yeah, Charleston White really sneak dissed him, but nobody even caught on to that. See, and that's why people's minds be confused at, because I thought that Charleston White didn't like gangbangers. Draco the Ruler, King Von, Nipsey Hussle, you know, them type of guys. Them the guys that I thought that he didn't like. FBG Duck. But obviously, it was all a lie. Charleston White, ain't nobody safe when it come to this guy. You got to know that. You're going to have to stand on business when you see Charleston White. And I ain't talking about violently. I'm talking about if Charleston White come after you, you're going to have to say what you got to say. Now, Charleston White really burning all his bridges. He really burning them. Because I know that he got into it with Say Cheese TV, and they used to work together faithfully all the time. Every time I go on YouTube, I see Charleston White and Say Cheese interview, you know. So really, they put each other on. People click to see Charleston White, and people click because it was Say Cheese TV, you know. But then let me tell you something. Y'all know who Lil Woody is, right? Y'all know who Lil Woody is? Lil Woody is the same guy who was with the first time I heard of Lil Woody was in that halftime song by Young Thug. When Young Thug said something about Lil Woody or Papa Chanagan. At that time, I didn't even know who Lil Woody was. You know, I wasn't really even paying attention to all of that. I was just really listening to the music. But now, you know, after this Rico thing with Lil Woody, and he came on the stage and he basically told it all. See, I compare Lil Woody literally to 6ix9ine. But the thing about it, Woody hit him with a twist. He said he don't recall, like he don't remember saying none of that. Y'all know Woody already told y'all that he be taking medicine. You know, he ain't really the brightest. You know, Woody, I don't know what Lil Woody do. All I know was that Lil Woody was one of the guys who was a real street nigga turned soft. You see what it say right here? Like, he was real. He was street. Woody did a lot of dirt, you know, and it seemed like Charleston White wants some smoke, some real deal smoke. Now, I don't know why I feel like this, but you might feel like this too. Why Lil Woody trying to trick Young Thug off the street? Because when he got out, I thought he was sounding like he was fucking with Young Thug low key, right? And then now he's saying, like, you got to show them why your name Thug. You got to stop sitting here being quiet. You know what I'm saying? He basically telling Young Thug, nigga, do what thugs do. You know what I'm saying? If you a thug ass nigga, you going to do what a thug do. And we all know what thugs do. You know, that's what Lil Woody trying to get, you know, YSL, you know what I'm saying, big dog, because that's the big dog in their city. You know, he ain't the big dog nowhere else, only in Atlanta. You know, he's a god to them niggas. I ain't heard nobody in Atlanta drop no songs really since Thug been home. Thug got them boys on lock. But you know what I'm saying? But, you know, Charleston White, he ain't scared of none of them. See, Charleston White, he ready for whatever happened, because he know what happens when you do what he's doing. You know, Charleston White really got a lot of haters. But for some reason, somebody or people seem like they scared to touch Charleston White, but they touch everybody else. And not saying, oh, go and do something to Charleston White, but I'm just saying, you know, I sit back, I watch, I listen, and I notice that, you know, people will talk about Charleston White in a bad way, but at the end of the day, when they see Charleston White, it's like they taking pictures with Charleston White. You know, they partying with Charleston White. You know, they at the table having dinner with Charleston White. You know, they most likely allegedly massaging Charleston White feet. You know what I'm saying? They probably sleeping at Charleston White house in the basement bedroom. They probably doing so much for Charleston White because they love Charleston White. But they trying to make us think that they don't like Charleston White. But if you ask me, I don't like the shit that Charleston White doing. Because sometimes Charleston White, he say some real shit. He do. And a lot of times he say some fuck shit. What I mean, he say some fucked up shit, some shit that we don't even much want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Now, he's saying that, oh, something about Woody put his baby in a shoebox. But you got to think about it, bro. What if somebody put you in a shoebox, and we don't want to see nobody get put in the shoebox, but what if somebody did you like that? You know, what, you pocket watching this guy? Don't tell me you doing that, little Charleston White. Don't tell me you sitting here pocket watching Lil Woody, trying to figure out what he got going on so you can try to expose this guy. That's the thing about y'all industry guys. See, y'all be trying to expose somebody and trying to stop the shine, bro. And that's fucked up for the ones that really be sitting out here trying to do this. You know, Charleston White ain't have no business trying to attack this guy, especially going after his kid, you know. And then he said he wasn't gonna go after the other kid, but you shouldn't go after neither one of them. You know, what if you was Lil Woody and Lil Woody was you, and Lil Woody was talking about your people, how you talk about Lil Woody people? You wouldn't like that at all. So, man, you can find another way, Charleston White, to get your clout. Because even though you getting views and shit like that, bro, it's just people that just watching you. It's a matter of time, bro, before something bad happened to you. Because karma is a motherfucker. What goes around, bro, comes around. It comes around 10 times harder, bro. Charleston White ain't doing nothing but digging a deep, deep hole for himself. A deep hole for himself, nah. Now, I don't understand why this guy Woody trying to tell Young Thug what he better do. I mean, Charleston White isn't going at Young Thug in this situation. You know, Charleston White is going at Lil Woody in this situation. So Charleston White coming after me, why I'm gonna say, hey man, you better show them why your name this, or you better show. Nah, bro. Cause at the end of the day, that's making me look weak. You know what I'm saying? And Woody, I don't even think you're gonna crash out. I think this whole thing is an internet play. You know, I think that Charleston White trying to boost your career because he know you ain't got no career. I don't know what the hell you do, but I'm gonna just say you ain't got no career. Your career is a, you know, yes and no and snitch and I don't recall. That's your career. You probably were a wire. You probably got wires all on them dirt bikes allegedly when you out there in the streets. Because we know Charleston White. We all know Charleston White dirty. We all know Charleston White ain't no real nigga, bro. So you can't show us that you ain't a real nigga and we know or heard that you did some real shit. Because you can always attack them back online. You ain't got to snap on them. You ain't got to lose control. You ain't got to crash out in person. That's where y'all get it wrong at. See, if a nigga say something on the internet, that means he wants it to be on the internet. If he said or do it in person, that means he want it done in person. So obviously, Charleston White won't smoke on the internet, man. And you're gonna have to just give him what he want. Don't involve nobody else in your beef. If he mentioned their names, let them come back and say something when they ready. You know, Young Thug probably can't even say nothing. You don't know what kind of restrictions Young Thug on. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug can't even wear certain colors. He can't even do certain things in his videos. And Young Thug ain't even dropping no music. So we don't even know what Young Thug is doing. All we know is we see you, Lil Woody, every once in a while you know, popping your face up. You know, the last time I really heard about you is when you got in that incident on the motorcycle. And then now I'm hearing about you again in this incident when Charleston White sending you out. Y'all can always duke it out. You know that, right? I mean, you ain't got to involve nobody else in your bullshit and your smoke, bruh. You know? Because like he said, Charleston White said, you used to be a stand-up nigga. You used to be a nigga that people was really fear of. And now you just pussy. That's what Charleston White saying. I'm just quoting the words. It's right there. So you got to show him that you ain't pussy. Didn't you see him when he boxed one of the Island Boys? Didn't we see you when you boxed that one guy in the parking lot? Okay, so you don't know how to set up some shit and get some shit prepared, bro, so you can hush him up. Because, I mean, even though he won against the Island Boy, Charleston White I'm talking about, you don't hear him talking about him no more. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the punches that Island Boy was throwing maybe looked at weak, but Charleston White was like, damn, Charleston White probably was fucked up after them punches. You never know. See, it can look weak on TV, but he probably was feeling them shits connect. You know? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this whole thing in the comment section, man. I ain't even gonna ask y'all what y'all think, bro. I think Charleston White was dead ass wrong. I think Charleston White need to find a different way to attack people. You know, instead of trying to talk about people who he know damn well can't respond back to them. You know. Because when I was watching Charleston White, I thought that's what he didn't like. I thought he didn't like people that, you know, do that shit. That's why I call him a hypocrite, man. So if you fuck with what I said, let me know in the comment section, man. If you didn't fuck with what I said, let me know in the comment section. I'm out. Peace.